Have you ever heard of a man who longed for death so he could meet Christ? This is the story of Ignatius of Antioch, one of the earliest Christian martyrs and a bishop who shaped the church in ways we still feel today. His letters, written on the way to his execution, reveal a man utterly devoted to Christ, even in the face of death. Let's dive into his life, his faith, and his legacy. Ignatius was the bishop of Antioch, one of the most important cities in the early Christian world. As the second or third bishop after the Apostle Peter, Ignatius led a church that was no stranger to persecution. But Ignatius wasn't just a leader, he was a fighter. He fiercely opposed false teachings, like those of the Ebionites, who insisted on keeping Jewish laws, and the Docetists, who denied Christ's humanity. For Ignatius, these heresies weren't just wrong, they were dangerous. But Ignatius's fight for truth came at a cost. Around 110 AD, during the reign of Emperor Trajan, Ignatius was arrested on charges of atheism, a term Romans used for Christians who refused to worship their gods. He was taken from Antioch to Rome, escorted by 10 soldiers, to face execution in the arena. Yet for Ignatius, this wasn't a tragedy, it was an opportunity. On his journey to Rome, Ignatius wrote 7 letters to churches in Ephesus, Magnesia, Tralles, Rome, Philadelphia, Smyrna, and to his friend Polycarp, the bishop of Smyrna. These letters are some of the earliest Christian writings outside the New Testament, and they reveal a man utterly consumed by his love for Christ. In his letter to the Romans, Ignatius pleaded with them not to interfere with his martyrdom. He wrote, "Now I begin to be a disciple. Let fire and cross, flocks of beasts, broken bones, dismemberment, come upon me, so long as I attain to Jesus Christ." For Ignatius, death wasn't something to fear. It was the ultimate act of discipleship, a way to imitate Christ's sacrifice. Along the way, Ignatius met with church leaders like Polycarp, who admired his courage. He urged them to remain united under their bishops, writing, "Wherever the bishop appears, there let the people be, even as wheresoever Christ Jesus is, there is the Catholic Church." This is the first recorded use of the term Catholic Church, meaning universal church, and it reflects Ignatius's vision of a unified Christian community. When Ignatius finally arrived in Rome, he faced his fate with unwavering faith. Though the details of his death are lost to history, tradition holds that he was thrown to the beasts in the Colosseum. His martyrdom wasn't just the end of his life, it was the culmination of his witness, a living testimony to the power of Christ. So, what can we learn from Ignatius of Antioch? First, his life reminds us of the cost of discipleship. Ignatius didn't just talk about following Christ, he was willing to die for him. Second, his letters provide a window into the early church, showing us how Christians navigated persecution, heresy, and the challenges of leadership. And finally, his unwavering faith challenges us to ask, what are we willing to sacrifice for Christ? Ignatius of Antioch may have lived nearly 2,000 years ago, but his message of faith, unity, and sacrifice still resonates today. If you enjoyed this journey into the life of Ignatius, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more fascinating stories from church history. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.